Greetings, and welcome to our Essence of Serenity YouTube channel, and a special welcome back to our OEOS tribe. In today's segment, we will be speaking on purpose. Purpose deriving from who and what you truly are, and why you were initially here. This goes to all those who've always known that there was reasoning to their existence in this very realm. This goes beyond anything that you could ever be told or even taught. What I speak on derives deeply and embedded within your very existence of a soul. And while within your avatar, you realize that your armor has taken many blows, not just from society, but even from those close to you. And one might ask, why is that? Well, I'm here to tell you that's simply because of who you truly are. You see, when coming into this program, we've been force-fed to swallow those blue pills. Those who this message is for know exactly of what I speak of. Society has shoved these particular pills down our throats and has even programmed those around us to do those very same things. A systematic design to keep you from seeing your true meaning and your true reasoning that surrounds and revolves around your very purpose. I'm here to tell you that there's a reason why you keep throwing those pills up. There's a reason why your body rejects them. It's because you know it does not apply. It does not belong, nor does it resonate with who and what you truly are. See, you've been told that you are a beta, that you are beneath those who force their foot down your neck. What you fail to realize is you are truly the alpha. The alpha has always been within you. And in this moment, and in this time, in these dire times, it is time for that alpha to rise. You must shed what you thought you were and who you thought you were, for those very things and aspects were nothing but an illusion, driven by deception, greed, and power, to keep you from once again seeing your true reflection. This is to those who are tired of suffering, who are tired of the pain, not knowing who to go to and where to go, simply because you can't relate to what you've been accustomed to. There are certain things within yourself that need resolution, and you should be able to go to certain things or certain ones to find those very answers, but it was never meant to be that way. The only true salvation when seeking truth is through yourself. The more and more you look around you and you see the conditions of this world, as you see those around you going through those very same pains of suffering due to the economy, due to what's being told, due to what's being said, and due to what's being eluded. You see it for what it is, for you know it. You may not be able to know or be able to express with these very words how you know, but you know. There is a burning desire within you, ready to ignite, because you, the soul, knows it is time for you to rise. There has been a shift that has occurred for quite some time now. And now it's at a point to where the veil is very thin. It is time for you to receive what you know you deserve when it comes to identifying who and what you are and where you come from. Your purpose and your existence has meaning, even though you were told otherwise. It is time for you to set aside the mental doubt, the mental worry, and the mental concerns when it comes to the things that do not apply to you. You are beyond anything that you've ever seen on any show, any movie, or heard on any song. You must realize that there is levels and layers to the deception that surrounds you. And only with your inner chi can you adapt to bring forth and out your aura to protect you from these very frequencies and low vibrational setbacks. It is time for you to set aside all the things that you know that are not of you. As mentioned before, you suffered long enough without being able to find and seek the answers that you know have been unsolved and surrounded by lies to keep you in a particular place or confinement when it comes to seeking your very truth. The wind is blowing. The trees are moving. They are communicating to you in ways that you were not supposed to hear or even receive. But I'm telling you now to listen. Listen to that very voice within self that has no equal. It is time for those who are chosen to fulfill their destiny. For you know that you are the master of your very destiny. No one else can walk your path. No one else can fill your shoes. No one else can truly experience what you know you've experienced when it comes to how much and how deeply involved you were in those very endeavors. Yes, you can express it by communicating to those and hoping that they get it. But deep down, you know there will always be some void. There will always be a lack of comfort, a lack of reassurance when it comes to your confidence and when it comes to what you know you belong to. It is time for you to find your true tribe. This is more than finding people who are like-minded. This is about finding those who you know have suffered just as you have. We all have a story, but it's very important to know where you begin. Your present moment can't connect with your past, for you will always be in a loop. Therefore, what you see before you, in front of you, it may be far away, but it's only far away because there are things that you're still holding on to. You have suffered long enough, especially to a point to where you know what is true when it comes to those around you and when it comes to this very system that you were put in. Your ancestors have been crying out to you since your very birth, and now it's time for you to relearn that very language. The time has come for the uprising. The time has come for the true revolution. For you and I both know that it's not physical. This is completely spiritual. The time has presented itself. The time has come to unlearn what you've learned. For the word time, as you know, does not exist. But within this very dimension, it is against you. Because those who are responsible know what is occurring, what has been happening, and what is inevitable. The only way for you to be a part of that very process is you must unlearn what you've been taught was a part of who and what you are, of what you thought derives from you, but never did. For what you thought was part of the reason of why you're here, but it isn't. We are at a point now where you are held responsible for knowing what you know, for you know what you must do. Karma goes both ways. It can be for you or it can be against you. Meaning, It is time for you to set aside all the excuses. It is time for you to remove the scapegoats. It's time for you to stop blaming and feeling victimized and pointing, for you know what you've been through. The only true justification when it comes to feeling redeemed, when it comes to all that you've been through, derives from your liberation, your true resurrection. You see, you play a very key part into what is happening right now and to what's to come. And my friend, I am here to tell you, if you do not answer that call, you will be left behind. It is time for you to channel your pain, channel your rage, channel all things that you knew you were undeserving of, and transform it into the true essence of your power. The power that will open up your first eye before the very two that you've become accustomed to. For then you will be able to see the things that were not only hidden, but in plain sight the whole time. It's time for us to stop talking. It's time for us to stop complaining. It's time for us to be fully responsible for where we are in our lives at this point. For you know with great power comes great responsibility, and that responsibility ties into your very purpose. This purpose is connected to many, and it'll affect many, but there will only be a few beside you, fulfilling what must be done when it comes to reestablishing the natural order within this third dimensional realm. Both Mother and Father Nature have cried out long enough. It's time for us to take our hands and dig deep within the very soul, within self, for your very hands possess abilities that go beyond your very own imagination. They are portals that connect to the very source of what and who you truly are. Those very portals can be utilized to take within those very hands and take deep within the very soil that you stand on to heal the earth that we reside in. It is time for you to reconnect and to reestablish that connection upon that natural order, that very essence that allows you to breathe, the very essence that protects you in ways that utilizes the very animals that surround you. You have spiritual totems and spiritual animals for a reason, for they are reminders of what you come from. Listen to the birds as they call out and chirp and sing. If you listen closely, those very sounds will turn into frequencies, and those frequencies, if your heart chakra is open enough, will be able to interpret and translate the very messages that are being brought upon you. It is time for you to strip away how people feel and think about you, for those things do not matter. Those low vibrational frequencies are nothing but distractions that keep you from accepting who you truly are. You see, the approval that you've been looking for has been within self this whole time. The approval that you've been needing to stand up and rise, and not only plant your feet within the soul of which and what you are, but to also plant your feet within the soil that you stand upon. For there is energy just waiting to be absorbed, but you have to be ready to receive it. Just like the high vibrational energy from the very sun that you gaze upon. It's called sun gazing for a reason. It's time for you to see what has been hidden from you. It is time for you to remove the veil that has been put upon your eyes. It is time for you to look behind that curtain and see who's been running this whole circus act. A circus act that you've been oppressed by. A circus act that has had you on the very stage where so many laughed at you for just feeling how you felt, and the things that you would see, and the things that you would want to share. But you and I both know they'll never get it, because it was never meant for them to. It was never meant for them to accept who they truly are, because they will never know who they are, because they've been convinced and programmed from what they were told what they are. You are beyond anything of a human. You are beyond anything of your very avatar. Your avatar is only here to contain the powerful soul that you are. Therefore, if your temple, if your sacred building, if your true inner sanctuary is unstable, then your soul will not be able to thrive as it must. You've been staring at the door for too long, not realizing that you've been holding the keys this whole time. As I close, allow my voice, allow the frequencies that you feel from it to wake you up out of this deep comatose state that you've allowed yourself to stay in. Receive these frequencies for what they truly are. For you know, it is the very universal signals that brought you to this very video. And if you're still in this very moment listening to it, it's for a reason. You, the soul, is calling out and screaming for you to wake up. Those blue pills were only meant to cripple you, to shackle you. For you've always been the red pill. There is nothing outside yourself that you need to become who and what you truly are. There is power with your voice, for it stems from the very confidence in the knowing of why you're here and what you must do before you leave. It is time for you to bury the you that you thought you were. It is time for you to drop those roses, making an oath and a commitment to self, grabbing a hold your inner child that saw things in ways that most would only categorize as just being your imagination. But it's beyond your imagination. You were able to see into parallel universes, parallel dimensions, without even realizing it. You've had the sight the whole time, and you see the BS that you put upon self because you keep stepping in it. It is time for you to rise and become who you knew you were destined to be. If you get left behind, it will be because of your own doing at this point. This message is nothing but further validation of what you know you must do, and it is up to you to do it. As the phoenix, it is time to rise. Live within your true purpose. That purpose that no one can tell you, but can only validate. For only you will know what that very purpose is. As always, stay lifted, stay above the low frequencies, and reside in the high frequencies where you know you belong. For it will be there you will receive the signals needed to prevail against all things that are opposing you, especially now, once again in these hard and dire times. Thank you.